welcome to another video of Matro's Travel. I'm Matro and today I'm in Amman. So Amman is like the capital of Jordan. It's also a really huge city. I never expected that. And in this video I want to show you a few of the places you can actually discover here. So let's go. So one of the first places you should definitely check out in Amman is the Citadel on top of the hill. So going up the Citadel, you can already see a beautiful panoramic view around the city. You can kinda like already get like how big the city is. To be honest, the city is so big, like even when you go to the west or the east and you go up a high building, you still see buildings up to the horizon. But up the Citadel, so you can just walk towards the west, and the first thing you're gonna see is like the Citadel wall with one of the leftover towers. So, and from there you can see the Temple of Hercules. So the temple itself is mostly destroyed, but as you can see, some of the columns are still standing there, and a lot of tourists just go between the columns to take some pictures there and selfies and so on. Actually pretty nice to see. And from the temple you can go further to the west. You have as an interesting view from like there towards the skyline with the high-rise buildings, which I didn't expect that they have in Amman, but yeah, they have high-rise buildings there. And from that point there's also like a small museum, like an archaeological one you can visit, and from there you go towards the north and you have like this leftover ruins from a big mosque that was standing there in the past. There's still like the entrance gate standing, and you can see the floor a little bit. And like right in front of the mosque there was like a huge plaza for the market and everything. And there you see also like the big gigantic gate for the palace. So first I thought this gate was actually the mosque, but no, it's not a mosque, it's really the entrance gate. And it has like this beautiful blue dome above it. And when you go in, it's really fascinating. Like when you see this wooden structure of the dome, wow, this architectural style is really incredible for me. So from there, when you go further down, you go to the palace. Now, the palace is completely destroyed and in ruins, but you can still see how it kind of looked like and how big it was. I mean, you still see the columned street and a lot of the rooms there. Also, at the very end of it, you have also again a really nice view from the city, and you will see also like in the back a very huge flagpole. So this flagpole is the tallest one in the world. It was erected in 2003 and is 126.5 meters high. So just imagine how huge it is. You can already see it like from far away how huge it is. And yeah, it's the largest one. So just like as a little side fact, when you go there you will see the largest flagpole in the world. And what is also really cool, when you go back you can see the bathhouses as well. You can't really enter them, they're closed, but you can have a little look in there, at least like from the outside, and kind of like understand how it looked like. Also in this area you can go to the other part of the wall, and this part is so big that you can also just walk on it. So you can basically just walk on the wall alongside the Citadel, which was also a pretty cool experience for me to just do it, and like nobody will stop you. So it's definitely okay to do it, I guess. And when you walk further down there, you get to like the ruins of a church. So you can still kind of like make out that it was a church. The columns are still standing. You have some of the structures still there as well, like especially the arches, which look really nice. You can see that it was kind of like a church, but there's not too much to see there anymore. And when you go back down, definitely do not miss the spot from where you can see the Roman theatre. So on the very bottom of the Citadel you have like this panoramic view over the theatre, which is really cool. So you can see like the big Roman theatre and the smaller one as well from above. Something you should definitely see actually. With the Jordan Pass it's for free. Also the next one I'm gonna show you is also for free with the Jordan Pass, and it's actually Roman Theatre. So you basically can already just walk there. You have like this huge plaza already in front of it. And when you walk there, you see like this beautiful column street already in front of the theater. You can just walk around there. Most of the columns are still intact. It's actually pretty nice to have a walk there. And going in the theater, of course, it's stunning. The theater is still in use. On some of the evenings, they still have concerts there and everything. I think it's usually traditional music they have there, so definitely check it out in the evenings as well. I'm on top of the theater. It's steep. It's very steep. Wait. See those people? How they have to climb up? It's not easy. But it's the perfect leg workout. So if you haven't worked out on a day, go to the theater. So as you can see, also you have this beautiful view towards the Citadel as well, and you can see the Hercules temple as well. So it's a small structure. It takes maybe like, I would say, 30 minutes to an hour to explore. Definitely check it out. Another place that is really cool is the Jordanian Museum. So the National Museum basically. It's also in the city. It's not too far away from the center. You can walk from the theater. I think it's like 20-minute walk, probably, maybe less. One issue you have is like it's not included in Jordan Pass. I don't really understand why, but it isn't. But it's still worth going there, and it costs you like 5 dinars, so it's not too expensive. And like really, when you go to this museum, the things you see, like you have like some of the oldest statues ever found, like the two-headed figure, for example, has been found in the area, which really looks very interesting. We don't really know what it symbolizes or so on. Like, you know, it's too old to actually know what it was, but you see the two heads basically on it. They have also a lot of reconstructed heads as well, like from skeletons, like they used the bones and kind of like reconstructed the faces, how they looked in the past. They also have like a lot of very old relics, steels they call it. So it kind of like looks like a gravestone in a way. But like they have the writings and inscriptions on it, very important ones as well. They are not original ones. The original ones are in the Louvre, if I remember correct. But they gave copies to Amman, so you see the copies there. And like these steels are very important because they are like some of the only writings existing there. And like one of them even has like verses of the Bible on it, which kind of like confirmed that these stories, like the writings in the Bible, are the right ones or real ones that were written in the time. So it's also very important for this as well. And what is also really cool, you learn a lot about the different cultures there that were living in the area and their writing styles. So you have this area in the museum that is actually showing you all the different writing styles and hieroglyphs and so on, and how it kind of like developed, which is really cool. And also, wait, you can write your name as well. There's like a small computer where you can write your name, and it shows you how your name was written in those different writings. So I used Matro, of course, and you can see like here the different hieroglyphs and alphabets, how it would have looked like written in the past basically, which is a pretty cool thing to do actually. And what is also very interesting, there is an area where they actually show how the streets were built by the Romans and also the columns, how they actually erected the columns in the past with the crane and everything. I found it so interesting to actually see it. So I was always wondering how it actually worked exactly. So something to check out, definitely. So, and as well, you might have heard about the Dead Sea Scrolls. So these are the scrolls they found in the Dead Sea, like in a cave beside it, I think on the Palestinian side, if I remember correct. They are basically important for like, especially Christians, because they were books of the Bible. Basically like the oldest ones still intact, and you can see some of them in the museum. Unfortunately, it's completely forbidden to take any any pictures or anything of it, so I can't show it to you. I can show you like the entrance, and that's basically it. That's all I can show you. Like you can see a little bit like some of the vases where the scrolls were inside. You can see this in the video like a tiny bit, but it's all I am allowed to show you. Seeing them, it's really interesting, like also how intact they are and everything. Like I was really amazed by it, like when you see how old they are. Way over 1,000 years old, I think even 2,000, 1,500, 2,000 years, something like this, and still intact from a cave. Wow. So it's a very important part of history, actually, you can see there. And of course they also found a lot of other scriptures and papyruses as well. Old documents from Petra. They were burned but somehow survived. So these documents are very fragile, so there is like a kind of like a light barrier there which protects them from the light. And if you want to see the documents, you have to press a button, then the barrier opens and you can see the document, and it closes again. I mean, you can't read the document anyway, but you can see it. What is cool, they give you a paper where a translation of the document is written down. And it's basically just complaints of different people about different things, like kind of like business complaints in a way, you can say. So very boring stuff actually, but when you think how old it is, it's really interesting. And it also shows that Petra was an important city for a very, very long time. And of course, what I also found really cool were like there was like a temple facade with the zodiac signs. And the zodiac signs, they were showed as human beings, so like human figures in a way, like as you can see here. Really cool made. A lot of them were lost unfortunately, but you can see some of them still, which is interesting thing to see. Like I even found like my sign Cancer there, so that's basically how Cancer looks like for them. Cool thing. So, and there's also like another floor on the museum. So the first floor, and on this floor what is really cool, they show you the golden age of the Arabic world. So you might have heard about the Dark Ages, but while it was the Dark Ages for Europe, the Arabic world was kind of going wild in a really positive way, as in, like they call it the Golden Ages because so many things got invented during the time, which I never even heard about. It came from the Arabic era and from this timeline. And well, this area is a little bit made for kids to teach them about it, so you can see that. But also as a grown-up, it's really interesting to actually see it. So like you learn about the first men who were actually trying to fly, and they even managed to fly. Before the first airplane was invented or anything, or the two brothers actually were able to fly, even before Leonardo da Vinci created his flying machine, Arabic people already tried to fly, and some of them already managed to fly for like a few 100 meters. So that's something we don't really learn in school at all. So it's really interesting to see that actually. And also there is like a lady that made a star map, and it's important for that. Another lady that created one of the oldest universities ever in Morocco. And also like the very first big clock ever invented. It was called the elephant clock, which looks kind of weird, but also kind of cool. I would put this in my flat, to be honest. So the elements of the clock, they are from different parts of the world. Like you can see the Chinese style, Arabic style, then European, African, all mixed together in one clock. So it's really cool to see this actually. And there's so much more you learn, like even surgery. There are surgery tools, like some of the first invented surgery tools ever during that period, and they're still being used today, and like they nearly look the same, so they haven't really changed much. And you learn all of this in the museum, so really cool to check out. So, and that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, hit the like button down below. Remember to subscribe, and see you next video. Bye.